I want to preface this video by saying this message might come across as a little harsh to some people, but I think that it is very valuable. I'm Josephine, this is Mindset Monday, and we're just going to talk about the grass being greener on the other side, and the grass is greener where you water it. And in the area that I find this most poignant, I am a mom to 3 small children, 5 and under. I've had a sense of identity loss, and I'm sort of reclaiming it as they get older. But my husband and I both really want to invest in our kids and invest in a way where they feel loved and cherished by us. And something that I have noticed is parents who put the effort to water their garden, water their grass, so to speak, by actually being very involved with their kids, caring about what their kids care about and not trying to force their kids to care what they care about, or not wanting to be involved with their kids because they're too much work, which I'm not trying to do battle of the sexes, but this does seem to be an issue more so with men than it does with women, like fathers versus mothers, but not really wanting to do a whole lot with kids or participate until the children are old enough. But at that point, once they're old enough and they might understand more, you lost out on all those years to foster that bond with your child. And I do plan on covering comparison and grass being greener, and just really putting stewardship into your life, tasks, and personal self. But this one's mostly going to be about raising kids, and I know Mother's Day is coming up. But just to remind yourself that if you're not putting your effort and energy into some of these things that you see, maybe it's financial goals, maybe it's having a brand new car, maybe it is having a luxury wardrobe or something, we're kind of talking a little bit shallow, because when we're comparing ourselves, what are we seeing? We're seeing outward expression. We're seeing something flashy, gorgeous home, expensive home, huge garden. If you're not watering those areas, what are you watering? Because you're watering something. Is it going to be your screen time? Or are you actively spending time with your children? And if the case is that it's screen time, then maybe you should consider kind of adjusting what you're doing. But if you are spending all of your time invested in your children, spending time with your children, teaching your children, schooling your children, investing in your children, having play dates and being socialized and learning how to interact with other children. You're having your kids in the kitchen with you. So maybe your kitchen is a mess and it's not sparkly clean. Just remind yourself, you are watering your relationship with your children. So this is going to be a bit of a short video because I need to go water my relationship with the children. But this is kind of a simple reminder. If you are looking at someone else's life and you are comparing yourself to the highlights, it might not even be real. But 2, if you look in your life, you reflect on the areas that you are spending your time. And if it truly is something devastating, if you are just, I think screen time, in this modern age, screen time. I mean, sometimes I need screen time, but screen time is a huge issue. If you are having problems with getting up and doing things, maybe there needs to be some self-reflection. But if you are looking at the act of being a parent as just soul-sucking, just know it can be a season. If you are investing time in your kids, the time to parent them properly, lovingly, and having not a friendship, a relationship, a parent-child relationship. We aren't friends with our kids. We have a parent-child relationship, and once they are older, we can be friends with our kids. But I personally think that if you have a level of authority over your child, it's the thing about like gentle parenting and anything, you have a level of authority. So it's parent-child, not friends. But you could do it lovingly, and you are interested in what they are. You're also teaching them to be reciprocal. You are teaching them how to love others. And I think that's beautiful. And as they grow up, this is something that I've seen between me, my siblings, my cousins, I've been able to see in my friends, there's a clear difference between the relationship that people in my age group have with their parents when their parents kind of didn't care, want nothing to do with certain things, and the relationship between the kids whose parents did care about what the kids liked. And oftentimes it is reciprocal. A lot of times, if you are putting your effort modeling, hey, you like sharks, let's learn about sharks. Let's draw sharks. Let's sculpt sharks. Let's investigate this shark thing. Tell me what you learned about sharks. And I'm going to ask you questions about sharks. And you can answer these questions for me. This is what my oldest is going through, a shark phase. So it's like, oh, well, what did you learn about these sharks? I'll look up pictures on my phone. What shark is this? Me giving the example of showing him that I'm interested in what he cares about is showing him that's how we treat others. And as he gets older, he'll start doing the same thing. And he already does, because I watch him interacting with his younger brothers and his little friends at 5 years old already. You're already seeing these healthy social interactions and bonds starting because we are watering that. And as much as sometimes I see parents where they have split apart, and so it's like on the weekends or whatever, every other week, they have all this freedom. It's still the kind of thing. I grew up in a split household, and as an adult to adult, that freedom looks like it must be really nice. Like if I could just take my car and drive all the time, if I could do these autocross races frequently, if I could really spend time just tearing up my yard, completing home projects easily, because I don't have a village either, that would be really cool. But I remember being a kid and just all the what if. And it is harder and it's straining. And then if your parents have beef at all, it's like, okay, well, and so instead of looking, oh, they have all this freedom, I just think I'm giving my kids what I really wanted as a child. I'm able to take that and foster a healthy, immediate family where they don't have to pick and choose who, like when the time comes that they are picking and choosing where they're spending the holidays, the ideal is that it's going to be between the in-laws and us, and not just the in-laws and whichever parent being a split household. And I'm not coming after split households in this way. You have to focus on you. I'm coming from my perspective, the things that I have learned. And what I have learned is to take heart that even though I can sometimes see people's green grass, I need to focus on my grass. Because if I'm not spending time doing what they're doing, I'm spending my time elsewhere. And where I'm spending my time elsewhere has been my kids. We are recentering ourselves. If it is my screen time, I need to check myself. If it is my kids, I need to have an attitude adjustment. And I think also when watering and using gardening references, if you are building up a garden, when do you get your harvest? Is it right away? It's not right away. It comes in time. And with some vines and some plants, it's and trees, fruiting trees, it can take years. And I think something that can really help is just because you water your grass today, you are caring for your garden today, and you don't always see the fruits. There's that saying, I don't remember what it is, but it's about trees, planting trees so that they can provide shade for the generations after. And the idea is some of the stuff may feel very repetitive and menial, but it means something. It's not just menial, it is meaningful. And I think going into Mother's Day, I'm excited. So tomorrow, Task Tuesday, is going to be just a couple things to keep an eye out for. If you are in my situation where you don't have a whole lot of family, friends, village, or for whatever reason, to help you, maybe your kids are much younger, maybe you are a single mother, but to celebrate the day, there's just a couple things that you can do to make it easier. And in going into it, I'm also learning to not just expect appreciation from others, but to appreciate the effort I put in myself. Because watering grass can take work. It can feel like a lot of work. It is a lot of work. If there was anything in this video that you thought was particularly thought-provoking or intriguing, made you think of other things, I would love to hear your insights in the comments section and have a discourse down there and a discussion down there. But I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.